Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some exciting and important news for all SASSA grant beneficiaries across South Africa. If you're receiving a social grant, you'll definitely want to stick around for this update because it could mean a significant boost to your income this June 2025. Yes, you heard that right. The South African Social Security Agency, or SASSA, has officially announced the double grant payment for June. This announcement is not just a routine update, it's a massive relief for millions who rely on these grants to get through their daily expenses. In this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the new payment amounts, when your money will hit your account, and how this double payment will work. Plus, we'll go over some helpful tips on managing your funds wisely during this period. So, grab a notebook if you need to, and let's dive into this. To start off, let's quickly recap what SASSA grants are and who qualifies. SASSA provides a variety of social grants designed to help vulnerable South Africans, including older persons, children, people with disabilities, and those facing financial hardship. These grants range from the old age pension to the child support grant, disability grant, and others like the care dependency grant and foster child grant. For many families, these grants are not just extra money, they are the lifeline that covers essentials like food, electricity, rent, and school needs. So, any changes to grant payments have a huge impact. Now, with the government's announcement of a double grant payment in June 2025, it means beneficiaries will receive 2 months' worth of grant money in a single payment. This is a huge deal because it allows beneficiaries to plan better, clear debts, or make larger purchases that they otherwise might have delayed. Now, let's get into the specifics of the double payment. For June 2025, SASSA will pay both the June and July grant amounts together. This means if you normally receive, for example, a 2,000 monthly, you will get a 4,000 in June. However, it's essential to remember that this double payment is only for June and July's grants combined and that your grant payments will resume as usual from August onwards. It's also important to note that this announcement came alongside an increase in the grant amounts themselves. In line with inflation and the government's social support strategy, many grant amounts have been adjusted upwards for 2025, so the double payment you receive in June will reflect these new higher rates. We'll get into the exact numbers shortly, so stay tuned. One of the main reasons behind the double grant payment is to assist beneficiaries in coping with rising living costs. South Africa has experienced inflation pressures, especially on food, fuel, and basic household expenses, making it harder for low-income families to make ends meet. The government, through SASSA, is trying to provide relief by giving beneficiaries a lump sum payment, which can help cover bulk purchases or outstanding expenses. This method also helps beneficiaries avoid making multiple trips to the bank or retail stores, saving time and transport costs. Another practical benefit of the double payment is that it prepares beneficiaries ahead of the mid-year school fees and winter clothing expenses, which can be significant for many families with school-going children. So, what are the new grant amounts for 2025? After careful analysis of inflation and economic conditions, the government has adjusted the grant rates slightly upwards from previous years. For example, the old age grant has increased from about $2,200 to approximately $2,400 per month. The child support grant now stands at roughly $520 per child per month, up from the previous $490. Disability grants, care dependency grants, and foster child grants have also seen similar incremental increases, reflecting the government's effort to keep pace with rising costs of living. When you combine these new rates with the double payment announcement, it means your June payment could be a nice surprise and help ease financial pressure for at least 2 months. Now, let's talk about the payment schedule and how it will work for beneficiaries. SASSA has confirmed that the double payments will start rolling out in early June 2025. However, not everyone will receive their payments on the exact same day. Payments are usually staggered according to the beneficiary's ID number or other administrative factors to avoid congestion at pay points and bank queues. Typically, SASSA grants are paid during the first 2 weeks of the month, and this year will be no different. If you receive your grant through a bank account, your payment should reflect in your account from June 1 ST onward. For those who collect the grants via SASSA Pay Points, payments will also be available in June but may vary slightly depending on location. It's always a good idea to check with your local PayPoint or SASSA office if you want the exact date for your area. Another key update relates to the methods of payment. SASSA has been moving more towards digital and bank payments over the years to reduce cash handling risks and improve convenience for beneficiaries. Many recipients now receive their grants directly into their bank accounts or via mobile money platforms. For these beneficiaries, the double payment will be deposited directly into their accounts, which means faster access to funds without the need to queue. However, if you still collect your grant in cash from a pay point, you'll receive the double amount in person. The government has ensured that all payment points are adequately staffed and supplied to handle the larger cash disbursement. Additionally, security measures have been ramped up to safeguard beneficiaries receiving larger sums of money at pay points. It's also important to highlight that this double payment does not affect grant eligibility or application processes. If you are currently approved for a grant, you will automatically receive the double payment in June. New applicants or those whose grants are under review will not receive this double payment until their grant status is confirmed. If your grant application is successful after June, you will begin receiving your grant payments according to the normal schedule, without a retroactive double payment. So, for existing beneficiaries, the process is seamless and requires no additional action on your part. Now, given the larger lump sum, it's wise to think about how to best manage this money. Financial experts often recommend using lump sums like this strategically to maximize impact. For many beneficiaries, this means budgeting carefully to ensure that the double payment lasts beyond just 2 months. One way to do this is by paying off any outstanding bills or debts early, especially those with high interest or penalties. Clearing these debts can reduce monthly expenses and free up income for other needs. Another smart move is bulk buying groceries and household essentials when prices are lower. Many retailers offer discounts for bulk purchases, and having extra stock at home can reduce frequent shopping trips and exposure to fluctuating prices. Furthermore, it's a good idea to set aside a small emergency fund from this double payment if possible. Even a modest savings buffer can help cover unexpected expenses like medical bills or urgent repairs. For beneficiaries with children, using part of the double payment to invest in school uniforms, books, or tuition fees can alleviate pressure during the school year. If you receive the child support grant, this is especially relevant as the mid-year school term often brings new expenses. Some beneficiaries might also consider investing in small income-generating activities, such as purchasing tools for a home-based business or materials for crafts or gardening. The extra cash can provide a useful boost for such initiatives. In addition to the financial management tips, it's worth noting that SASSA has set up several support channels to assist beneficiaries during this period. If you have questions or need clarification on your payment amount or schedule, you can contact the SASSA toll-free call center. The call center is equipped to handle high call volumes and provide timely information. Additionally, many local SASSA offices have extended their service hours temporarily to help beneficiaries with inquiries and payment issues. SASSA's official website and social media pages are also regularly updated with the latest announcements and FAQs. I highly recommend checking these platforms if you want the most current information and official updates. There is also an important reminder for beneficiaries to be cautious of scams and fraudulent activities, especially during the double payment period. Unfortunately, the increase in payment amounts can attract scammers posing as SASSA officials or financial advisors. Always remember that SASSA does not charge any fees for grant payments or require personal information like bank PINs or passwords over the phone or through messages. Never share your personal details with anyone claiming to help you access your grant. If you encounter suspicious calls, texts, or people, report them immediately to the police or SASSA fraud hotline. Protecting yourself from scams is just as important as knowing when and how your payment arrives. The broader context of this double grant payment also ties into government policies aimed at boosting social welfare and reducing poverty. South Africa faces ongoing economic challenges, including high unemployment and inflation, which disproportionately affect vulnerable groups. The government's decision to provide a double payment reflects a recognition of these hardships and a commitment to cushioning citizens from further financial strain. Many analysts see this move as a positive step toward improving social protection, although it is still just one part of a much larger strategy needed to address deep-rooted economic inequalities. For now, this double payment is a timely relief for millions, and it will be interesting to see how this policy evolves in the coming years. Let's also briefly consider the impact of the double payment on the broader economy. When millions of beneficiaries receive lump sum payments, there is typically an increase in spending on goods and services. This can provide a temporary boost to local businesses, especially in retail, food, and transport sectors. Vendors at pay points often see more activity during grant payout days, and many small traders rely heavily on this increased cash flow. However, some economists caution that such lump sum disbursements can also lead to short-term inflation in certain markets, especially where supply is limited. The government and SASSA keep a close eye on these dynamics to balance beneficiary support with overall economic stability. As we wrap up this update, remember that the double grant payment is a special measure for June 2025, designed to help millions of South Africans through challenging economic times. If you are a beneficiary, this is your chance to plan ahead and make the most out of this opportunity. Keep track of your payment date, know your new grant amount, and use the extra funds wisely. If you have family or friends who receive grants, make sure they hear about this news as well. Sharing information helps everyone benefit from government programs like these. Before I sign off, here's a quick checklist for you to stay organized. First, confirm your payment date with your local SASSA office or online portal. Second, verify the new grant amount applicable to your category. Third, plan your budget for the next 2 months, factoring in the lump sum. Fourth, safeguard your personal information against scams. And finally, stay informed by following official SASSA updates on their website and social media. Doing these simple steps will ensure you don't miss out or get caught off guard. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss important updates like this one. Also, feel free to drop your questions or experiences with SASSA payments in the comments below. I love hearing from you and helping however I can. Until next time, take care and stay safe.